This one is slightly more personal. Let me give you 5 reasons why I love being a software engineer. First up is instant impact. That's right. All of the things that I do are usually in front of the user within a few minutes, whether that's a really bad bug that I've released or a new feature. And what that leads to is instant feedback, not just an instant impact, because sometimes it could be a negative impact. But what I mean by that is that if I release something, it's in front of the users, they get to see it, they get to like it or dislike it, and if they like it, they're going to purchase the product, in case I'm building something which leads to purchasing the product. Or if they don't like it, they're going to close the site. Very simplistic view, but what that leads to is me finding out very quickly whether the change I've made is worthy. So this meaningful impact would kind of go across a lot of different jobs. There are many jobs where you see an instant impact. For example, if you're a doctor and you're doing a surgery, you're going to know whether it's, gone right or gone wrong. Similar to that, unfortunately, I don't have the skills to become a doctor, and I would be scared shit to do a surgery. I've chosen something slightly more simple. I don't care if someone, buys a mortgage or a pizza and fail to do so, because they're slightly less impactful on a person. But I still get the same level of feedback, whether they've liked what they've purchased, whether they've liked what they've done, the user journeys, etc., etc. And yeah, so it has an instant impact, and I like that. Number 2 is no two things that I work on are the same. So let me give you an example. You're an architect, you're building something. You ask an architect to build the same thing again, I guarantee you that it may look the same on the outside, but on the inside, it's not going to be the same. And the same thing applies, I feel, to my job and to software engineering. You can ask me to build Facebook today, and I'll build it in a particular way. And then I can build Facebook in a year's time, and there is no chance that I'm going to use, the same processes, the same architecture, the same modules, the same third-party libraries, because I hope React is there in 10 years' time, but whatever, right? There are so many things that will change from now to 10 years' time. And so the two things that I build, forget about 10 years. Like, I've worked on things that are 6 months apart, a year apart, and some new technologies come in, and I'm not going to use the old one. Right? A bit fickle. So there's that. You always work on things, and even if they're the same things, they're going to be different. So it's the variety of work. That's what I love. Going on from variety, there is another type of variety which you can have as a software engineer, which is the variety of industries that you can work in. I've worked in selling pizzas, and now I work somewhere where we sell mortgages, right? And they're two completely different industries. They sure require me to do some coding so that people are able to buy pizzas, mortgages, etc. But I get to learn so many different things. I get to learn why and how you sell a pizza. Well, you need to eat, but how and why you sell a pizza a certain way, and how and why you sell a mortgage a certain way, and all the details that go with those businesses. They're two very distinct businesses, and they work very differently. So the idea around being able to, if God forbid I get bored of selling mortgages and move on to selling cars, because I love cars. So I have that variety, and I love the fact that I can do that. That's something that not everyone can do. If you're an aeronautical engineer, you can't go and build houses. I mean, you can, sure, but you specialize in doing something which, is very specific. I'm not saying it's bad, it's great, but we get that extra bit of added flexibility around what industries we can go and work in. And I love that. And I don't think there are many industries where you can do that. There are or many jobs where you can go and change your job and work in a completely different industry, right? It's great. So there's that. Number 4 is that I'm always learning. There's always something there for me to learn. There's always something I can improve on. And there are things I don't know, which means there's always something for me to look at. And the day I stop learning, I regress. And that means in 5 years' time, the skills I have are no longer required or necessary, and I'm going to be old news. People are probably not going to hire me. And that's not great. What I'm trying to say is that I will be stagnant if I don't learn, and the industry is going to move forward. And at that point, the industry is going to chuck me out. It's not great. So I love the fact that I can keep on learning. And as I learn, as I grow my skills, it's improving me as a person, and it's improving my position in this industry. Because in this industry, like I've mentioned in some other videos, your position is tied very much to your skill level. The better I become, the higher I'm going to get. It doesn't matter how old I am, how young I am, how brown I am. I hope that doesn't matter. It does, though, sometimes. But it doesn't matter about all of those things because, hey, this person knows this skill really well. You're going to be assessed to be a certain level, and that's what you are. So for me to keep at that level, maybe I have to work a little bit harder than a white man, but still, you know, once you acquire those skills, you've got to keep on learning. You've got to keep on pushing through, because if you stop, it's no good. Which is why I love it, because I love learning. That's number 4. Number 5, and the major reason why I love software engineering, without a doubt, is the money. Do you think it was going to be something else? You've lost your mind. I mean, you know, I love those people who are like, oh, I love this job so much, I'd do it for free. Well, give me your money and you can do it for free. Because I'm not doing that, right? I'm here to do a job for you, and in return, I need a haircut, right? So we all know software engineering, tech industry is a bit of a boom right now. There's a lot of money, a lot of VC money, there's a lot of people's money that people want to throw away. And what that has meant, at least in the country that I'm living in, is that there's a bit of money that's being pumped into the industry, which is great, right? And what that means is I can be earning some good money, right? Let me have a look at how much people are earning. Oh my God, people are earning a lot of money. And so yes, there is that. Now, that doesn't mean that if you start out, you're going to be earning great money, right? There is a ladder, like there is in every industry. But this ladder is, again, tied to your skill. So if you're an 18-year-old and you're great at coding, like, sure, your first job, you're going to be classed as a junior, but you'll quickly realize that, holy shit, I'm being underpaid. Let me go and work somewhere where someone pays me $100,000, right? It can happen to you because it's about skill. So I hope that the 5th point doesn't overshadow the first 4 points that I made, because they're also very important. I really love doing those first 4 points, but the 5th thing is what keeps me alive on a day-to-day basis, right? So there's that. Now, there's some additional things which I really like, such as flexibility. When we're not in a pandemic, I could be out playing golf, which is great, right? Because I could be working from home one day, and then I don't have to travel an hour there and back, and I could just, you know, quickly nip first thing in the morning, play some golf, come back and start work. That part I really love. I hate the pandemic though. So there's that. So let's quickly recap. A lot of meaningful work, a lot of work which is different, even though from the outside it may look the same to you. There's a lot of different layouts and architectures inside the building, even though the flat looks the same. You know, there's a lot of different industries. I could be working, selling pizzas, selling cars, and then selling mortgages. So there's a lot of knowledge that I can acquire from different areas in different industries, which isn't something you can do in a lot of different jobs. So I love that. I'm always learning. You know, I'm learning because I like to learn, but there's also super intelligent people that I work with. And I love to just be a leech and just take everything I can. And also like taking a lot of money as well. So that's the 5th one on there. And all of those combined make it a really nice place, industry, job for me. I hope some of those resonate with you. Let me know which one. I know the 5th one definitely does. That's it from me. Really short one. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you in the next one.